The successful launch of Spartanburg Regional Hospice put the spotlight on a difficult truth. Continuously expanding to meet the growing needs of a community requires a significant and a continuous investment.
We could not trot down to county council all the time and ask for money, bonds, to finance these projects because they were going to get tired of it.
Hospitals across the Carolinas began to form foundations to raise money, to support growth, and to educate the public about healthcare services. The fundraising efforts for hospice had proved to local leaders that the community very much wanted to help Spartanburg Regional to grow.
If we can get a really great board for the foundation and get people involved in the community, if you put money into something, you support it. I mean, it's just that simple. And it took off like nothing I had ever dreamed of.
Leadership consulted with the Duke Endowment and then formed a Blue Ribbon Committee of community leaders and physicians. After 2 years of research, the Spartanburg Regional Medical Center Foundation was organized in 1991. The first major fundraising campaign kicked off in 1993. Envisioned was an 8-story patient tower off Eastwood Street. The Spartanburg community stepped up in a big way. The new foundation raised $3.3 million, of which $100,000 was donated by employees. Local textile leader Walter Montgomery and his wife Rose gave the foundation's first major gift. Named the Montgomery Tower, it opened in 1994. It would be the last major project that Charlie Boone would lead as president. After 30 years of service, Mr. Boone retired. He had served as the chief administrator for fully 40% of the time that Spartanburg Regional had existed. Accepting emeritus status, he kept an office at the hospital for years thereafter. The 90s were a decade of nonstop growth. The Regional Physicians Network, now known as Medical Group of the Carolinas, came into existence. The Heart Resource Center and the Physicians Office Building opened in 1990. The system's first mobile mammography unit began its service in 1993 thanks to a $150,000 grant from the new foundation. In 1994, the system also purchased Doctors Memorial Hospital on Serpentine Drive. It was then renamed the Spartanburg Hospital for Restorative Care and was dedicated to focus on patients requiring long-term acute care services. The Regional Outpatient Center opened in 1996 on the site of the 1921 Nurses' Residence building, which was demolished. The Women's Center also opened in 1996 with 33 private rooms designated for maternity, medical, or surgical care. Another name change was soon on the horizon. In 1996, all of these entities were collectively named Spartanburg Regional Healthcare System. Perhaps the biggest change of all came in 1999. Spartanburg Regional greeted the new century with the opening of the Marcia and Jimmy Gibbs Regional Cancer Center. For Dr. James Bearden and Dr. Julian Josie, this was a dream come true.
We're all in the same facility. We deal with an emergency together. We deal with treatment together. We talk about the patient.
The push for a major cancer center had been discussed for years, but it took a generous challenge gift from textile entrepreneur Jimmy Gibbs and his wife Marcia to open the doors before the turn of the century. Their challenge led to raising more than $3 million, $165,000 of which came from Spartanburg Regional employees.
Nothing like that had ever occurred in this institution. Almost a multi-million-dollar gift from a prominent industrialist in the community to do something for a not-for-profit hospital that took care of everybody.
The Gibbs Regional Cancer Center was one of the first to have all cancer services under one roof, this to support the modern vision of multidisciplinary care. To this day, patients are managed and supported from diagnosis through treatment and on into survivorship.
Gibbs Cancer Center, when I got here in 2011, obviously had a fantastic reputation. Heart and soul feel so deeply about Drs. Bearden and Josie and what they did so long ago to kind of rebuff the notion of for-profit medicine, particularly in oncology. And trying to honor that is a key driver for me personally.
Throughout their experience, cancer patients are surrounded by a special environment, one intentionally designed to invoke a sense of calm.
You don't come into a sterile place. You come into a place filled with lots of natural light, a beautiful garden that is just encompassed by the outdoor space, is encompassed by the indoor space,